whether you are an individual or you are a business. So today we are talking about NGOs. If I see something, I've heard some NGO names here, the next step to confirm what you do or whether I want to do business with you is to go to either your website or social media or any digital channel. Hardly would I want to pick a phone and call your office or visit your office. That doesn't happen much. That's the reason we are doing this, so that we will build a very strong presence, such that when the donor sees that, they will see a very good brand. That's why I started with the brand. They will see that personality that they want to do business with. So we'll go through a few strategies. We'll start with channels. Good. I saw this quote online and I thought of it as something that would really help us. Now, what does this say? It says that being digitally literate is as crucial a skill as any degree that you may have. As part of the question that I was asking on Menti, I asked if you have, when was the last time you attended a similar digital skills training? And this question, every time I ask, I realize a lot of people in the NGO space, if I may put it that way, they really don't, they are always focused on their impact and their projects. They really don't undertake some of these things. And I want to urge you, the same way you put a lot of effort into doing your first degree, doing your master's degree and all that, you have to really build yourself with digital skills. Whether you are the digital manager or the owner of the NGO itself, you need to build yourself and know what the digital space is handling now. There are a lot of things going on there. We're talking about AI, there are a lot of other things that you can learn from digital. So we move on. Good. We will touch on digital landscape. We will talk about website planning. If you don't have a website, this will guide you as to how you can plan your website. We would also talk about content marketing, which Akutia has touched on storytelling, which is basically what content marketing is. Performance in terms of digital strategy itself, how to plan a digital campaign, and how to measure. If we have some time, we will go through some practical illustrations. So with regards to the digital landscape, why am I showing this slide? This is something to give us that edge that there is a lot of opportunity online. There are 5.3 billion people as of October 2024. And how can your organization reach these people? It can only be online. So let's really take this as an avenue where we can reach our donors, we can even reach the people we want to impact. There is an average of 2% growth year on year. So it means that more and more people are coming online. And we will always have people even staying online for longer hours. And that's where we can reach these people. This is specific to Ghana. It's just telling us 24 million people who use the internet, and about 8 million of them are on Facebook alone. Now, why and where digital matters? The reason why we are urging you all to adopt or absorb digital skills or these executions in your activities is to, one, help you to speed up the things that you do. Apart from all the groundwork, if you really need to communicate with speed, if you really need to undertake certain things and enhance your speed, we talked about AI where it can give you a whole overview of how you can write your draft. I had a conversation about whether it's really lazy or not. I think that's another conversation, but I believe it has come to help us. You have to use it well. The idea is every good tool has a way that can affect you as well, but if you're able to learn how to use the tools well. We were here and Microsoft Word came and we started using it. Now AI is here, we have to use it. So you can imagine telling your stories and you missing something and the story is on your website, you can easily just bring it down, make your corrections, upload your story again. If it's a press release, if it's any article that you are writing, if you are writing a blog, in terms of editing, it helps to aid your accuracy. Now, it's very, very convenient. There is a way anybody wants to receive their content. People want text, people want audio, some want videos, especially those who work with people living with disability. And there is a way you can really craft all these contents in the formats that will be very convenient for your target audience to receive them. Now again, there is a way you can also use the internet or the digital space to do your research. There is a way you can use that to communicate. That's on social media, your website, newsletters, everything that you do in terms of reaching the people remotely. For brand building, which really hinges on the storytelling, as I mentioned earlier. Audience engagement. For some organizations, nobody would even ask them any question throughout the year. Nobody would engage with them, nobody would say anything. But if you are present online, if you post regularly, if you engage the people, they will also engage back. And the more engagement you have, it aids the brand building as well. So the more people engage with your brand, the more you are able to influence their decision towards you. So if you want them to really undertake a course, they will definitely do it. If you want them to undertake an action, they will definitely do it. If you want to influence your donors, the way you are able to create your content, share content, and tell your story is able to influence the decisions that your donors make towards you. Now we talk about stakeholder engagement, which are your key stakeholders. It could be your employees, your donors, your funders, or even some of the partners that you have. Then for fundraising, we know how crowdfunding works online. There are other platforms that you can also use for fundraising. Well, so now we come to the digital journey itself. There are just 5 key areas that you touch, and this is what you do in your digital journey. First is your channels. You can have all the stories that you have, but you need a channel to really push these stories on, or you need a channel to communicate. So you first identify your channel. We research into new channels every time. If you have one channel, you look at how you can have 2 channels or 3 channels. Then you look at your content and format, how you can maximize various content forms and enhance your appeal. Previously, when social media started, we were only posting text and then into images. Now we have videos, we have live streams, we have podcasts, so you don't stick to one. You move on and on as the technology also moves. We talk about content push. That is the way you circulate your content. So I'm talking about where you start from. You start from your channels, you start from the content, then how you circulate the content. Where you can even engage influencers to help you push your content, and you will touch on influencers along the line. Then monitoring. This is what a lot of companies don't do. They just push out their content and they leave it as such. One of the things that you have to really pay attention to is to monitor the communication and all the content that you push out to see how they are performing, and that brings me to the results. Every campaign you run, every strategy in terms of communication, there should be a way to measure. You should first of all set KPIs. You should know that I am on social media now. I have 200 followers. By next month, I should have 300 followers. You should set those KPIs. And when you set them right, you measure your performance according to these KPIs. So this gives you a general overview of the digital journey. I hope you are with me. Good. Hello, can you help me from here? Okay, yes, good. Now, in terms of channels, So for every campaign or every digital execution that you have seen anywhere, it touches on one of these three key categories of channels. It's either you would see the content on a website, you will see the content on a social media platform, or other channels including through emails, through mobile apps. So WhatsApp is part of social media. So these channels are what you have to consider. So you look at a website, you look at social media, how many platforms can you manage on social media? Then you look at the other platforms. So we're just going to touch on these three, why they are important for us NGOs. I'll start with the website. How do you even develop your website? For owners of NGOs, this should just give you an overview so you can know what your website guys are doing, or if you're engaged in an agency, you can know what exactly they are doing. First of all, you need to have a domain name, that is your website address. Everybody here has a website. Okay, so those that don't have websites, I think this will be very, very key for you. You need to first have your domain name, that is like your name where people will call that name online and your content will come out, which is your website anyway. Then you acquire a hosting service. So all these, you can do it on singular platforms. You can either do this on GoDaddy, there is WordPress that can also help you do this. But I'm just giving you this as a guide, if you're not a technical person. Then you plan your content. You design how your design is going to turn out, the content, the information that has to go on there. So it's your about us, what we do, our impact, the donations that you receive, anything that you would want the public or the general public to know about you. Everything can be on your website. Once that is done, you test your website, you have your emails done, and then you can go live. Now to talk about emails, we have sometimes people sending us proposals and they are still using Gmail and Yahoo and all that. Please, you need to have corporate emails. That is a very key thing. You send proposals somewhere, you send your content. Once you see Yahoo or something, no, it's a no-no, you know. So please, owning your corporate email is not very expensive. You know, I think you can do $200 for the whole year, and it's even for unlimited number. So let's prioritize that. Now, why do we have to really own websites? First of all, for credibility. Between social media and websites, you are seen as a little more credible when you own a website and it's updated frequently than when you are only on social media. So first of all, for credibility. Secondly, for immediacy. So for example, if there is something you want to do on your website that social media platforms have not implemented yet, you can still go ahead and do it because you own that platform. You're able to change anything on your website compared to what you do on social media. On social media, there is just one font that is there. You can't change the font. You can't change the font color. The cover photo is just a particular size. You can't change it. But on your website, you can decide to paint the whole homepage your brand color, or you can decide to put the whole campaign to cover the whole of the homepage. It's something you can do by yourself. But when we compare with social media, if Facebook has not changed some features, you can't do, you really can't do much. I hope you get what I mean. Good. Then thirdly, for convenience. Interacting with your audience and investors can be very convenient when you own your website. Then identity. Website also helps you to really build a strong brand. So there are some websites that even the font type on there is their own dedicated font. It's not any regular font. It helps people to identify you easily. it's your own media. If you are able to really promote your website very well, you really may not rely on the media houses for your news releases or your articles. You can push all your content on your on your website, your blog, your press releases, videos, everything that you can, every content that you can create, all those can go on your website. Now, it's very customizable. I think I explained that during the immediacy point, that you can turn it around. You can, a lot of companies do rebranding and they change their look and feel of their website. And it really refreshes the brand at every point in time. So we just look at how to plan your website. First of all, there are two main pages. You have your home page and you have your landing page. The home page is where people get to when they type your domain name. So if it's, let me use WaterAid as an example. If it's WaterAid, you type www.wateraid.org, it takes you to their home page. Now, for every other page where you click any link on the home page to take you there, that is called a landing page. So for example, if you see About Us and you click on About Us, where it takes you to is the landing page. Now the home page needs to be in a certain shape so it really attracts people and it gets people to stay. First of all, you treat your homepage banners as typical billboards. So people don't spend a lot of time on websites if they are not attractive, if there is nothing interesting there for them. So you make it look as typical as a billboard. The idea of a billboard is something that will catch your attention, and if you even have 2 seconds, you will spend that 2 seconds to look and capture the content on there. So that's the idea I want you to have. Then you create catchy elevator pages. So, for example, if you have a project that you want people to learn about, on the home page you don't write a whole 2-page text of the project. It has to be a very catchy statement about your project that will make people stay, want to click, and go and learn more. Next, you have to reduce where the content on the homepage. I've talked about that. Visitors must know what you do and how they can contact you from the homepage. For some websites, it is only the contact us page that you will see their phone number, email address, and all that. But we recommend strongly that even on your homepage, you have to keep your phone number, your email address, and any other way they can contact you. Then definitely there should be a call to action that leads to your end goal. So if there is anything you want visitors to do, definitely there is something. If you may either want them to read more about you, you may want them to donate as NGOs, you may want them to partner with you, whatever you want them to do, you need to specifically write it. This is very key because this is something we did a study on. We created 2 different artworks, and one had click here, the other one didn't have click here. Meanwhile, we wanted people to click and learn more. The one that had click here had way more clicks than the one that didn't have click here. So it gives us that impression that when you really instruct the people, they take action. If you don't instruct them, they'll just watch the content read or watch the artwork and then they'll just move away. Now that's for the home page. Now when you go to the landing page, for example, if it's about a program or a project that you are undertaking, that page also needs to look good, similar to the home page. Why? Because now people share links. So somebody may share a link of that page directly in their WhatsApp group or to somebody else. So when they go and the page looks boring, they may just bounce off. So there's something on website called bounce rate. When people hit and they immediately move from that same page without visiting another page, it is called bounce rate, and you can measure that thing on your Google Analytics to help you really enhance your website pages. So good, on the landing page as well, you need to have your banner, which of course looks like your typical billboard. It doesn't need to be wordy and all that. If it's a project you are running, the name of the project and maybe what you seek to impact. Then you have your elevator pitch again, a very brief information. It's probably one sentence. I know we know what elevator pitches are. One sentence, you write it there. Then you come to the details. So whatever project you are doing, the details of the project. If it's so much information, you need to actually break them down to create another page for the rest of the information. Because if it's very long on the page, even Google doesn't index those pages more. So you lose out on search engine optimization. Then again, there should be a call to action. So for that particular project, if you need donors, you have to ask them to donate. If you need volunteers, you have to ask people to volunteer. Maybe click here to volunteer, or call us, or send us an email. Are we good? Yes. Right. Then your contact information, like the same thing as you had on your home page. Okay, so I just want to show you this. This is good at it. Here you can check if your company name or your organization's name is available for you to pick for your website address. So you go to the top where they've written every great idea deserves its own domain and you type. So if my organization's name is alex.org, Alex Foundation, I can search alexfoundation.org. I'm saying .org because we are all non-governmental, and that's the domain attachment that has been dedicated for the non-governmental organizations. For regular businesses, it's a .com, that is commercial, so that's different. So when I click alex.org here, and the domain is available, it will show that it's available and I can buy. And I can quickly just buy. It's not expensive. They don't go beyond $10. So it's something we can actually buy. So if you don't have a website, please search and lock your domain name down. Maybe you plan to have a website in the course of the year, so that by the time you are ready and you go, somebody else will not have picked it up. It's the same way you go to the Registrar General's department, or you're going to register your business or your organization, and the name you have planned, you go there and somebody has that you can't register, you need to change it. So the earlier you do that, the better it is for you. So that is this particular screenshot. I added an email, corporate email, as I mentioned. So it works like going to do shopping. So I pick the product ID, it goes into the shopping basket, and it calculates the amount for me. So I went and shopped for a domain name, I shopped for a hosting service, and I shopped for an email, and it added everything. And for the year, it's giving me $107, $107.51, which for me is not too much money for us to lose that credible presence as a website. Are we good? Okay. So I'm showing you this so that somebody will not come and say your domain name and everything is $5,000. Okay. So then when they come, you can show them that there is GoDaddy where you can get $100 or $200 for that. Okay. So let's quickly touch on social media. I know we are very familiar with social media. Everybody here probably would have a profile. And the differentiation I want to bring here is there's a difference between pages and profiles for some of the social media channels. When you pick LinkedIn, for example, when you pick Facebook, if you have a profile, it's an individual. So it registers you as a person. So it will ask whether you are a male or a female, where you school, where you work, and all that. But when you're registering as a page, that is a business page. It asks the questions it will ask you are different. Because it will ask when your company was incorporated, what's your website, what do you do, which industry do you operate in, and all that. And that allows you a number of tools on Facebook compared with a profile. A profile as an individual. I think even if you set up as a profile, you can't have more than 5,000 friends. When it gets to 5,000, nobody can add you again. But when you set up as a page, you can have up to whatever number. Our page has about 1.3 million followers. So it can go on and on and on. And you have detailed analytics. It can show you where the people are following you from, which countries. It can show you, I will show you another screenshot so we will get to understand that better. So on social media as well, you identify your channel, the channel that you want to be on. You design, you develop your content, because of course you would have your DP, your cover photos and all that. Then you do your setup. So most of the time I recommend you prepare your content before you start setting up. Because they may ask you some questions that you may not have answers to them, maybe profile about you, your bio and all that, your address, your phone number, your email address. You need to have everything put down before you start setting up the pages. It's as simple as that. Once you do that, you browse through, if it's accurate, just go live with it. And you can start inviting people to follow. If it's Instagram is one page. It doesn't have the two profile and pages. Facebook has that. So Facebook, you the individual, you need to have a profile before you can create a page and then manage the page. If you are able to create Instagram as well, you can sync them so that when you do the post on one, it will show on the other. Right. So you go ahead and launch. Why social media as well? The benefits are slightly different, but it's mostly the same. So social media gives you a wider level of awareness compared with the website. The website, people need to deliberately visit, or you really need to push the links to people to click and come back to your website. But social media is a place where everybody's actually headed there. Anybody who picks their phone in the morning, maybe apart from praying in the morning, the next thing they do is either they are going on Instagram or WhatsApp or something. Yes. So people go there already. So it's a place where if you are present there, you would get the awareness. Then it's very friendly and easy to use. Anybody can just pick any social media channel and they will follow through and they will set up. Unlike the website, which you sometimes need some technical skills to be able to do that. In terms of personalization through target marketing, or let me say target communication, you are able to really indicate that this post, when I sponsor it, only females would have to see it, or only people above 40 years would have to see it. So you're able to really target your communication. You can actually post something and you would target America, maybe a particular state in the US, to see that particular post. So some of the projects that you do that are very successful, spend some little money to sponsor those posts, and where you think your donors are, if they are in the UK, if they are in Germany, you can really target people in Germany to see that particular post. Then again, social media is innovative. They are always improving. When I started, I mentioned it started as a text-based platform. You could only post text. Then pictures came along the line, videos came along the line, live stream, podcasts. There are so many things coming up. Advertising and all these targeting. So it's very, very innovative. And now they've even incorporated AI. There is Meta AI that if you want to write something, you just give it a prompt, it will write it for you. You can modify it. So it keeps advancing. Then it's cost effective. You don't pay anything to set up your page on social media. So like I said, if somebody comes and says, oh, to set up a business page, you need to pay something. Today you should know that no, you don't have to pay anything for it. But you need to pay to sponsor your post. Right? Then for lead generation, drives huge engagement. And it's a place where any post you do, you can put your website link for people to link back to your website. Why? Because you can't write a lot on Facebook or on Twitter or on Instagram. Even if you write and it can accommodate text, it gets boring. So when you lead the people to your website, first of all, it's helping your website to get more visits. And the more visits you get, the more Google indexes the pages that people are visiting. And that really aids your search engine optimization. Right. So that's about social media. So I just wanted to show you these screenshots. These are the level of analytics that you can get when you have the business page. It can tell you how many people view anything that you posted within a particular time. This is a 1 month report. It's saying 700,000 views, it reached 150,000 accounts, so people, of course. Content interaction, 9,000 followers. So the total followers for the page, 1.3 million. And then how many people click on the content. So it gives you these detailed analytics and it helps you to enhance your communication and all the activities you are doing. On the left here, it can help you to plan your schedule for the next month. So when you go there, it has a planner that it guides you, putting all your content, putting times and dates that the content should be posted, and you just leave it. When it's time, it will post by itself. For the audience, it can tell you how many females are following you, how many males are following you, where they are following you from, which country. Even in Ghana, I can show you which cities they are following you from. So that's level of. Right. So it gives you a lot more compared to the profile page. Newsletter. This is one of the things I really want to spend a little more time on. Unfortunately, we have a little more time to go. I will go beyond. I'll go beyond it slightly, please. Okay. So these are newsletters where I'll just say okay. It really helps you to craft your content and push your content to targeted people. So for example, you attend a conference like this, you see there are people that they are potential partners or donors. You take their email addresses, you keep that email address in an Excel sheet, and then you sign up on an email newsletter platform. A particular example, what I use is called MailChimp. Unfortunately, we couldn't demonstrate. I would have demonstrated how to set up and then create. This is an email. It's a regular email, but the platform helps you to design the email nicely. And it can actually be a design that you use to just keep people updated on what you do on monthly basis. So every month you send out newsletters to maybe the 10,000 possible donors that you have their email addresses. There's a way you can fetch such email addresses apart from attending the conferences and all. There are organizations that actually indicate that if you want us to support you, send us a proposal here. Like the PwC lady mentioned, they have an email address that you can send. If they keep seeing what you do month on month, it may even influence them if you send a proposal to them. So that's about newsletters. Content execution, quickly. Now, when you are able to plan your content and what you want to put out there, these are some of the tools that you can use. For text content, you prioritize text-based AI tools. So there is ChatGPT, there is Meta AI, there is Gemini from Google. There are a lot more. Even ChatGPT now is able to create images for you. So you don't need to probably buy stock images if you don't have the money. If you can go to the field and take your own pictures, it's better, right? Now for design, that have free versions. that you can use. When it comes to the website, I've talked about GoDaddy. The email marketing is called MailChimp. That's the platform. You can check it out and see how these platforms work. So these are examples of artworks that were done by some of the platforms. So this is by the flyer with the image was AI generated. This is a video. Okay, we can just skip this video by the Filmora. And these are AI-based platforms. You just can give it instruction, and it will create the content for you. Okay, I'm going to talk about content marketing. Everything else you do apart from the core things that you want to talk about, apart from your core impact or your success stories, there's a way you can create more stories about what you do. So I just cited this example, so difference between your regular communications and then your content marketing communications. So take an organization that is into HIV disease awareness and prevention. On the regular, they will be telling people to get tested to know their status. They will be telling people to protect themselves and others. They use protection and all that. But when it comes to content, when it comes to storytelling, you take it a step further, and that is how you build your brand. That is how people get attracted to you. So, example, the same organization, they can say, my story, my voice, share your story. And these are user-generated content. This is what is actually helping more brands to really gain a strong presence online. I wrote about HIV 101 video series or podcast. It can be something that your organization can be doing on weekly basis or on monthly basis. Ask an expert, Q&A, social media challenge, know your status, encourage followers to participate. So there are a lot of content you can create around the things you do that will tell a story about your brand. And it actually, everything you write and post, it gives you a footprint. And the more footprints you have, the more easy it is for people to access you and to know what you are doing. If you have fewer footprints, it's a little more difficult for people to find you online rather than compared to if you have more footprint. I will end with this slide. Why content marketing? It drives audience action for bigger impact. 1. It helps with audience engagement. 2. It builds your brand. It helps with brand awareness. It helps with search engine optimization. I think I've touched on all these things whilst I was explaining it. And then it gives you loyal followers. There are some people who will just love what you are doing by consistently seeing the impact you are making. A lady mentioned that they've been in existence for 37 years. And everybody was shocked because it's surprising why we don't know this organization and it's 37 years old. If you were on social media or if you were creating more content and sharing this content online, I'm sure some donors from all over will probably just come and then give support as we always see. So thank you very much.